What was your "that's not what I expected" story? When I was 19, I worked at a coffee shop with this girl named Arya. Normal girl, early 20s, didn't really think much of her. One day, she tells me about how she lives in an apartment by herself and that her upstairs neighbor is absolutely insane. Like, he would stomp around all night, blast music at 3 a.m., and throw parties every single night. She would ask him to be quiet, and he'd get even louder just to spite her. Arya was getting more and more stressed about it. She'd come to work exhausted, saying she couldn't sleep because of the noise. She even started documenting everything. What time the noise started, how long it lasted, what type of sound she was hearing. She was building a case against this guy. She'd describe him in detail too. Said his name was Marcus, that he worked night shifts and would come home drunk around 2 a.m. She knew his whole routine. When he showered, when he cooked, when he had friends over. She even claimed she could smell his cigarette smoke coming through the vents. He's doing it on purpose, she'd tell me during our breaks. Yesterday, I knocked on the ceiling with a broom handle and he started stomping even louder. It's like he's trying to drive me insane. The situation got worse when she started leaving notes. She'd slip them under what she thought was Marcus's door, asking him to please keep it down. The next day, she'd find responses. Rude notes telling her to mind her own business or deal with it. This went on for weeks, and she'd show me these notes getting more and more frustrated. "Look at this," she'd say, showing me a crumpled piece of paper. He called me a whiny bitch just for asking him to be considerate. Who does that? She even told me that she was recording videos on her phone of her ceiling light fixture swaying from the footsteps above and was planning to show the landlord as evidence. A couple days went by, and I noticed that Arya wasn't showing up anymore. Whatever. Didn't think much of that either. A month or two goes by and she finally shows back up to work. I asked her where she's been. She tells me she was actually fired because she was in the hospital. I asked her why she was in the hospital, and she told me it was for personal reasons. I told her it was good having her back. Fast forward a couple days to me talking to another coworker. He says, "Did you hear what happened to Arya?" "Yeah, she was in the hospital and was fired or something." "Do you know why though?" "No. She said it was personal." So, this is what happened. A couple months ago, before Arya disappeared, she was at home by herself when her upstairs neighbor started blasting music and having what sounded like a huge party at 2 a.m. Arya told herself, "I've had enough," and decided to call the police and have them deal with it. The police arrived and started talking to the neighbor for quite some time. Hours go by with the police upstairs, so she calls the police again to ask what's taking so long. The police respond with, "We left like an hour and a half ago." But here's the thing, Arya lives on the top floor of a 2-story building. There is no upstairs neighbor. The apartment above her doesn't even exist. The landlord told the police that Arya had been the only tenant in the building for months, and she'd been writing those notes to herself and finding them later, thinking they were from someone else. Turns out that Arya was schizophrenic and was hearing voices and sounds that weren't real. She had to go to a mental hospital for a month.